Similar to a quest guide, this is a real-time version of how to do my starter strategy that gets you to bracket 3 in 1 hour and 45 minutes with all of these stats. You can leave it on in the background and listen along whilst doing the strategy yourself, and it will tell you absolutely every part of each quest, what to get out of the bank, what to buy from shops and so on, so you don't need to do anything yourself. If you start out in Tutorial Island, ask Skippy to teleport you to Lumbridge. From here, run east a little bit to the combat tutors and right click on one of them to select claim, and that'll give you your Drayman staff. From here, head back to the graveyard and speak to Nigel. Nigel's the Deadman tutor, and if you speak to him, he'll give you a choice of teleport, and you want to select the teleport to the Tree Gnome Stronghold. Once you're here, head southwest and climb up the stairs to the bank, and then once you're in there, just bank absolutely everything. Open your starter pack and choose what sigil you want. And once you've activated these sigils and banked everything, go back down the staircase and head to the east. And you want to do 10 laps of the agility course, which will take you to level 25 agility. At the end of each bracket in this guide, you'll also have a choice of what quest lines to unlock. You're free to unlock whatever you want on that because it doesn't really matter. The strategy doesn't change no matter what you pick, so just pick what works for you. This should be the last lap that you need to do on the agility course, and once you've done that, you can head up to the king in the Grand Tree, which is just to the north. Once there, go inside and speak to the king, and that's going to start the Grand Tree quest. He's going to ask you to go downstairs and you'll automatically follow him, and then once you're down there, he'll start speaking to you again, and again, that's automatic. Hold down the space and just go through the options until he's finished, and he'll give you a bark sample as well as a translation book. After you have those, head back up the ladder and then out of the doors to the south. Then head all the way to the south. At this point, we want to actually do another quest. We want to start the Waterfall quest. So in Ruinlight, you can click the X in the top right corner to get rid of the Grand Tree quest. And that just means when you start the next quest, which is the Waterfall quest, it'll automatically start that guide. So keep heading south until you come to the doors to leave the Tree Gnome stronghold. Once through those, head east until you come to a bridge. Once you get to the bridge, go over the other side of it and then head north. You want to keep coming north here until you get to some railings on the right hand side and a path going up a hill to the left. When you get to the top of that hill, there's going to be a little house on the left hand side. You want to open the gate outside and then open the door, and in there speak to Almira. Go through the options and then select yes when it says do you want to start the Waterfall quest, and then go west to the back of the house, open the gate and then board the raft. From here, hold down the spacebar until it goes through the chat options, and once the chat's completely finished, you want to head south a little bit, and then there's a rock all the way to the south that you just want to click on, and that will make your character swim to the rock, and he'll get taken downstream. Once you land downstream, head north a little bit, and then west into the house here, and open the door and go upstairs. Once you're upstairs on the east side, the middle bookcase you want to search it, which will give you a book. Read it and then home telly. Once you're in Lumbridge, head west out the other side of the castle, and then keep going. We want to go all the way west to Draenor. The book that you've just picked up you can drop as long as you've definitely read it. Just be a little bit careful when you're running west. There are some jail guards that can hit you. We're only 10 health at the moment, so they can do a little bit of damage. In Draenor, go to the bank and take out your money. And you then want to buy as many jugs of wine as you can from the first store that you come across. Now you might be able to open the trade screen, buy 5, close it, open it again and buy another 5, just how the stocks may work this time. Or hopefully if not they restock a lot faster. But try and get as many as you can, hopefully a full inventory, and then bank. In the bank, make sure to take out your bronze axe and GP and 10 pieces of food. Head a little bit west to Diango and buy a Chronicle and 6 teleport cards from him. From here, we're going to run all the way west to Port Sarim, and on the way you might as well add your teleport cards to your Chronicle. In Port Sarim, we want to go to the northwest shop, which is Betty's Magic Emporium, and here you want to buy some runes. We want to buy 300 water runes and 300 mind runes, plus 12 earth runes. You also want to buy one of the hats here as well. Once you have those, head to the southernmost dock and you want to take the charter ship over to Port Gazard. Once here, head to the west, and then after you come off the little island that you're on at the start, you want to head south towards Hazelmere. Now the next part of the quest we're doing is part of the Grand Tree, so cancel the waterfall in the top right corner and select the Grand Tree quest just to pick you up, and keep heading south to Hazelmere. On the island, just before you get to Hazelmere, are going to be some spiders with a max hit of 7, so make sure your health is always at least 8. Don't worry about using too much food, we've got plenty, we can buy some more later, just make sure not to take any chances, it's going to take you a long time to walk back here if you die. Occasionally the spiders can also get 2 hits on you as you try to climb up the ladder, so just make sure you do heal right up. Once here, speak to Hazelmere and just keep hold of your spacebar and go through all the options. Then climb down, go back the way you came, and then we want to go northwest towards the Tree Gnome Maze. Again, at this point, we're going to be doing part of a different quest. You can cancel the Grand Tree and select Waterfall. The reason for this is because in Waterfall quest and the Grand Tree quest, you have to go up and back down this way a couple of times. So by doing this part of both quests, it literally saves you one whole trip running from the Grand Tree all the way down to essentially where Hazelmere is. Once you've got your 6 logs, just head over to the start of the Tree Gnome Maze, and Runelight will show you the way to go through the maze. You want to get to the southern part just before you reach the king, and there's a ladder there, which is the next part of the Waterfall quest. are some giants here that you go past, you might get one hit from them, so just make sure you're reasonable health for this. And then when you go down the ladder in a moment, the things down here generally, I think the max hit is a 3, but just keep your health above 5 just to make sure again. On the east hand side, there's a crate that's a little bit darker than the others. Just click on it and you'll get a key. Then head over to the west side. Once over here, speak to Gollery and you'll get a pebble. Then head south through the gate and back up the ladder which you came in from. When you get up the ladder, head west a little bit and you'll see a railing that you can squeeze through. Once through, head east a little bit and speak to the king, but before you do, make sure to cancel the Waterfall quest, as we're now going to be doing the Tree Gnome Village, and from now on it's just one quest at a time. After you've spoken to the king, you'll be escorted out of the maze, head northeast a little bit and speak to Commander Montai. Hold down the spacebar and go through the entire chat, and then once the chat's finished, speak to him again and offer him some logs. Then select option number 2. After that, head over the west bridge right by you and then directly north to speak to the first tracker gnome, and on the way try and hit a few of the gnomes just to get your magic and your HP level up. After you've spoken to Tracker Gnome 1, go east a little bit to where the jail cell is and speak to Tracker Gnome 2. Hold down space and then once you have that, head southwest, where is the final Tracker Gnome 3, and he'll give you a riddle that's different for everyone, and Runelight will tell you in a moment which one to choose. Head south from here over the bridge and then click on the ballista, again attacking a few gnomes on the way. Once there, Runelight will tell you which option to press, so just go through the options and then select the right one, and that's going to break a hole in the wall just to the north. Depending on how confident you are with this quest depends on whether you're killing a lot more gnomes or just hitting the odd one on the way, but you really want at least kind of 12-13 hit points to do the next part, as the boss can hit you for 11. Even when you're doing this part now where you climb over the rubble to the north, it's quite easy for one of these guards to get a couple of hits on you while you're climbing over things or opening this chest, so it's just better to have a little bit more health. So climb over the wall and go up the ladder. And then search the chest to get an orb and go back down the ladder. Open the door and then head south back to the king. You don't have to go through the maze this time though, you can simply click on Elkoi to follow them through the maze. Once you reach the other side, go back through the railings and speak to the king again. Hold down the spacebar and then select option 1. You'll then be guided back out of the maze and it's time to fight the boss. And again, if you're not confident, just spend 5 or 10 minutes here getting your HP and your magic levels up. I did this with 11 HP. The boss can be safe spotted, but it's going to be really busy here. And it's quite difficult to know where your boss is in amongst an absolute ton of them. So it's better just to be safe. I also found this was a good time to go through my setup options. So if you haven't set it up yet, you can do your shift drop and your keybinds and things like that. Careful past the wolves as well, who do a little bit of damage to you. Once here, speak to the boss and then head to the west once the flashing arrow appears. Make sure to heal up if you get hit. And then once you get over this side, attack the boss and then just run a little bit south. Sometimes it takes a couple of attempts. You want to lure it over here, then just run to the south as it gets near you. Again, it walked away. It's no big deal. Just attack again. Wait until he comes over to this side. And then from here, run south a little bit and then attack him. And he'll go to this tree here and he's going to be safe spotted. He should never get out of this safe spot. It does take a while though with our magic levels. Once the boss is dead, pick up the orbs and head back down to the king. Again, just watch the wolves as you're running past. At the maze, don't forget to follow Elkoi so you don't have to go all the way through it again. Squeeze through the railings one last time and then speak to the king to complete the quest. After this, you're going to be 51 attack straight away, and you're going to have a nice amulet that gives you plus 13 to all the melee defenses, as well as being able to use the spirit trees to get around. So click on the tree after you've completed the quest, and click number 2 to head up to the gnome stronghold. From here, head north back to the king again, and we're going to complete the rest of the Grand Tree quest. So click on that in your rune light just to bring it back up. Select option 5, and then option 2, and then option 1. Finally, option 4. Once you've done that and you've finished the chat, head back through the doors and to the south. Then you want to go up the ladder just a little bit to the east. In here, speak to Gluff and just press space to go through the chat. After you've spoken to him, go back down the ladder and you want to go back up to where the king is. Speak to the king again and then go through the chat options and then go up to the highest floor using the ladder nearby. Once here, speak to Charlie and go through all the chat. After that, climb back down the ladder and you want to go back to where you were before, where Gluff is. So head back down and out the doors to the south. Go back up the ladder and then open the cupboard and search it, and then speak to Gluff again. Gluff will have you arrested, so speak to Charlie and just go through the options again, and then the king will appear. Next, click ladder on the captain and then speak to him and then select option 1. From here, head east and don't forget to heal up. You want to go to the gate just here and then click on it, and then Rune Light will tell you which options to pick. It's option 2, then option 1, option 2, then option 2 again. Click the gate again to go through, and then head to the east, and you can either speak to this guy or you can attack him. I'd personally just attack him just for the extra XP, might as well while you're here. The guy that you kill is the level 23 foreman, and he doesn't have much health, so he doesn't take too long. You can safe swap him by just standing on the other side of the dock. Once he's dead, head over and pick up the lumber orders, and then you want to go back to the king. Use your chronicle to teleport to Varrock and head north. Whilst you're in Varrock, we might as well pick up 2 free XP lamps. So if you head to the east of Varrock, where the museum is, we want to go upstairs here and speak to Historian Minas. He's on the first floor of the museum, and because we auto-complete so many quests this time, there's 2 quests that he normally gives you lamps for that are auto-completed, so just by speaking to him and selecting option 2, I have some information that might be useful. He will then give you 2 lamps. You might have to actually do that twice thinking about it, or he may just go through and give it anyway. After that, head back down the stairs, and then you want to head over to the Grand Exchange in the northeast corner and use the Spirit Tree. Once you're at the Spirit Tree, pick option number 2. Head north and go up the ladder to speak to Charlie again. Press space, go through all the options once more, and then once you've done that, head back down the ladder all the way to the bottom, and back out, and this time you want to go to the west side. Keep heading west from here, following the rune-like arrow on your minimap. And then once you get over here, click on the stairs and go up. Speak to Anita, and Anita will very kindly give you a key. Once you have that, head back down the stairs and to the east side. You want to go back to where Gluff is again. This time when you climb up the ladder, you want to use your key on the chest. Head back down the ladder after you have the scroll, and then you want to go speak to the king again. Speak to the king, who will finally believe you, and he will give you 4 sticks. Head south back to where Gluff is once more, and this time we're going to be fighting a boss. Once you go up the ladder, head to the east and then climb up once more. Once you're up, use the T on the first table, then U, then Z on the next one, and finally O, and then a trapdoor will open, climb down, and you'll have a cutscene. After this cutscene's over, it's probably going to be pretty busy here for you, and you want to stand 1 square north of the ladder, which is going to safe spot the demon. Now, if there's a row of other demons in front of this one, you might be pulled forward a little bit, but he'll still be safe spotted, so don't worry. But just be careful if someone kills their demon in front of yours to move back a little bit, as it's going to step forward a little bit and towards you. And I forget its max hit, but it is quite high. The demon's really weak to magic, so even with just our starter staff and a simple wizard's hat, we're going to do a lot of damage to it. After you've killed it, head west and just follow the path around to the north until you come to the king. Once there, speak to him to go through the options again. After the chat, search all the routes until you find a rock, and typically I got mine on the first route, but it could be in any one of them and it can take quite a while. So just pause the video at this point until you find the rock and you spoke to the king again, and then you can resume the video. Speak to the king again and go through all the options, and congratulations, you've completed the grand tree. Head back up the ladder and then out of the doors of the grand tree and head down to the south. We can now use the spirit tree here too, so that's what we want to do. We want to go straight down to the spirit tree and use it and select option 3, which is the battlefield. From here, head northeast and we want to go to the general store in East Ardee. In here we want to buy one ball of wool and one rope. After that, head north a little bit to the bank. When you get to the bank, you want to take out your 6 air runes, 6 water runes, and 6 earth runes, plus your rope, your chronicle, your pebble, and 10 pieces of food. Make sure to also bank everything that you're wearing, and open your Rune Light quest again for the Waterfall quest to continue where you left off. And from here, you want to go north past the Fishing Guild on the west side, all the way to the tomb. Now you need to drop your runes outside as you can't take them in. So I generally go up the ladder and drop them, but you can drop them anywhere kind of out the way and hopefully no one will pick them up. And once you have that, use your pebble on the tomb. Head down and these can hit for 13, so be very careful here. You want to head west first. Then open the chest. Again, keep your health way above 13. Don't take any risks. Then head east a little bit and down the south corridor. Click on the tomb here and then head north, back up the ladder. Once you're up, go back and get your runes. If for any reason someone's pinched them on you, which there's not a lot you can do about it, since in Deadman you can see these things straight away, then just go back to the bank and get another 6 of each out. From here, head north. You want to go back to where you started the Waterfall quest. Head north a little bit and then west up the path up the hill. At the top of the hill, go back through the house and then board the raft on the west side. This time when you get to the island, use the rope on the rock to the south. And then after you get to the other side, use the rope on the dead tree. Now, I'm wearing the amulet. I don't know if it's needed, to be honest with you. I always do it. But just to be safe, put it on and go through the door. And then once you're inside, go through the east door. And in the northern side of the room, there's 2 boxes on top of each other which you can search. And you will get a key. Head back out the way you came, over to the west side, and through the westmost door. Make sure to heal up before you go in here and then head north and open the door. Then open the next door just in front of you, and in here you want to put 1 of each rune on each of the pillars. Once you've done that, take off your amulet and put it on the female statue. And then use the urn on the chalice. Once you've done that, you've now completed the quest and you want to use your Chronicle teleport to go back to Varric and head north to the general store. In the general store, you want to sell your diamonds and your mithril seeds, but make sure you don't sell your gold bars as we need them for the next quest. And depending on how many people have sold to the shop and how the shop stock works, you might get anything from kind of 2 to 3,000 GP for these. Once you have that money, head northwest a little bit and buy a staff of air from Zaf's shop. Here, head west a little bit and go to the bank. Now we want to do Monkey Madness 1 next, but we need 43 prayer first, and we've got about 10 minutes of protection time left. The bank, and you want to get out your staff of air, your mind runes, your water runes, and about 10 pieces of food, plus your chronicle. You also want to take out your Drayman staff too. From here, head northwest to the Fairy Ring, just to the west of the GE. Equip your Drayman staff and then right click on the Fairy Ring and select Configure, and then choose BJP. From here, head east along the coast and then finally south along the coast until you get to a cave. Go in the cave that's a little bit to the west and then follow it all the way to practically the end until you see some blue dragons. And be careful on the way as there's a few creatures that hit quite hard. Now before you get to the blue dragons, we don't have a dragonfire shield and they can one-shot you. So the trick here really is if there's a blue dragon that no one's killing already and it's just wandering around and you need to go pick up some dragon bones or anything, then just make sure to get in combat with something at a much lower level first by attacking it and letting it come over and hit you, and that way the blue dragon can't attack you. When you get to the blue dragons, again, just take a hit off the skeleton that's normally nearby or one of the baby blue dragons and go on the east side, and there's a little safe spot in this cove here. When you're killing the blue dragons, make sure that you're training your magic on defense, as we need to get some defensive levels here too. Each of these dragons drops you 2 dragon bones, so you only need to kill 6 or 7. In theory, on average, we'll need 11 dragon bones, so 6 will give you 12. But if you want to be certain, I think if you kill 7 dragons, then you're definitely going to be fine. 14 dragon bones should be plenty. Since you should have about 8 to 9 minutes of protection left at this point, if you find that you've got a little bit more than you need, feel free to get a few extra dragon bones too, just to sell on the GE later and buy any supplies that you want. Once you have your dragon bones, you want to use your chronicle teleport and head north and a little bit west up to Edgeville. Just as you get to Edgeville, there's a Soul Wars portal on the west side, and you want to go into that portal twice. The first time you just left click on it to enter it, but the second time you want to right click and select Ferox. Once inside, head north and there's an exit to the cave just to the north. Once you come out, head west a little bit and then leave Ferox via the northern barrier. Make sure you have your Chronicle and your Dragon Bones and then head up to the Chaos Altar, which is northwest from here. Once you've run up all the way northwest to the Chaos Altar, offer your bones and that's going to get you up to level 43 prayer. At some point during this, you're also going to enter the next bracket, so whenever you do that, just hot worlds into the next bracket and then carry on offering your bones. Once you've done that, head south down to level 20 Wilderness, just in a straight line down south. And then once you get to level 20, you can home teleport. And then once you've home teleport, you can then use your Chronicle to teleport to Varrock. Could just run to Varrock, but I think it's slightly quicker this way. Once you're in Varrock, we want to take out our Chronicle, Starter Staff, Gold Bar, Ball of Wool, and about 20 pieces of food, making sure to have at least 2 inventory spots free. head north to the Grand Exchange, and if you want to buy anything from the Grand Exchange at this point, you can do. A couple of prayer pots will save you a bit of time, and of course, there's sigils and things that you might be interested in buying at this point. But once you've done that, head to the northeast corner and use the spirit tree back to the Tree Gnome Stronghold. From here, head north again and speak to the king to start Monkey Madness 1. Select 1 to start the quest, then head up the ladder and go all the way to the top. Once there, speak to the glider captain again and head over to Gandius. And from here, you want to kill yourself a monkey just to get some monkey bones. Once you have those, head north. We want to go back to the shipyard again. Open the gate and the worker will again quiz you before you can go in. Once you've gone through the chat, open the gate again and then head a little bit southeast into this building and speak to the GLO Karanok. After you go through the options, use the Chronicle once more and head to the Grand Exchange and use the Spirit Tree again. If you're running low on Chronicle Teleport at this point, you should have one left, but at some point you're going to need to buy some Varrock Runes, so whenever you get a chance, just buy them from the GE. But they are quite expensive in the first day of Deadman, so when you can, put the offers in the GE, and then again head to the northeast side of the Grand Exchange and use the Spirit Tree up to the Tree Gnome Stronghold. From here, go north and speak to the king to continue the quest. Go through the chat, and once you've got the orders, go up the ladder and then to the southeast. And then talk to Darrow and go through the options again. And once you've done that, RuneLight tells you to select option 2, but what you need to do is actually go through every single one of these options and then select all 3 different things that you can talk about in each option. And only once you've done that will you then be able to ask him to leave. So once you've gone through that and you have an option 4, which is simply leave, click on that and then just hold down space to go through the rest of the chat. And you'll be taken to an unknown location. And then speak to Darrow again to go through the chat. From here, click on the machine and do the worst puzzle. Runelight's very good for this, but for some reason it always kind of seems to not be as good as the clue scrolls are. Once you've done that puzzle and there's a mini cutscene, then speak to Dero again and then wait out, and then finally you'll be able to leave to go to a little island. Now from here, always be very careful. Runelight has a habit changing the options from talk to leave on these. Always right click and make sure you talk to each one in turn. Be careful of the scorpions here too, as they can poison you, so if you can, try and chat to them on the west side of the island if possible. Once you've gone through all the chats, it will then take you over to Apatol, and from here you want to run west. Now the best thing you can do is to hug the south coast first, and then head to the west. That means nothing's going to attack you for the start at least. As you're heading west, as you get past the ladder, start to head northwest and then put your protection from melee on. Things in here do attack you and they can hit a reasonable amount. There's a few of them. They'll only change to protect from range when you start to see a cluster of yellow dots to the north. And that's going to protect you from them as well and means you don't take a lot of unnecessary damage. When you're in the cage, try to picklock the door to get out. If you don't do it and the monkey guard comes over, just make sure to step one step away so you don't get smacked by him and have to start again. Once the guard's away and you're through the gate, just wait for it to go around the corner. And when the guards go to swap positions, you want to run out of here to the north, making sure to put up protection from range, as there's a monkey archer here that will attack you as you run past. After he's attacked you though, you want to switch back to protect from melee, as there's then a scorpion in the grass that can hit you quite high too. So first protect range and then protect from melee. Head north after you've gone past the guards and then head to the east. Follow the line here on your minimap to the south, then over to the east again, and then a little bit more south. Once here, speak to Gorkor and just go through the options again until he asks you to go and get some items. Head north a little bit and then to the west, protect them from range again, and follow the line to the south of the buildings till you come to a door. Keep your health up as usual. I had a lot less health than you'll have doing this because you get 10 times multiplier, so it shouldn't be as risky as I was finding it. And once you're in here, go to the east side of the room. And whatever you do, don't stand where everyone like put the skulls are. And if needed, kill the spider and then loot the box. Then head east a little bit and south to the corner and the crate here. And search that and you'll fall down and take a little bit of fall damage. From here, head to the west hand side of the room. There's another crate for you to search. And again, if you need to kill the spiders, just kill it. Once you've searched that, you should have all the items and you can teleport using your chronicle. And that should be your last charge. So if you don't have barrack teleports, you definitely need to buy some from the Grand Exchange now. You also want to grab your Drayman staff out of the bank at this point too. After you've got what you need on the G, head to the northeast side and travel using the spirit tree and pick option 2. And head north back up towards the king. Go into the Grand Tree and then head up the ladder again, and then to the southeast and speak to Dero again, and select travel. Click on Wadar and travel again, and then from here make sure you click on Lumdo. Same as before, hug the south coast and head a little bit west, but this time you're going to need to go down the ladder. You want to follow the lines all the way around. You've got unlimited run, so just run all the way through. You don't necessarily need protection from melee for all of these, just keep topping up your health and that will be fine too. But if you're good at it, you can also just flick it on and off as you go past each monkey and you'll take a lot less damage if you do that. You do need your protection from melee on once you get to the multiple monkeys where you normally do the chinning spots and the barrage spots. But at the start when there's only a couple of them and the green monkeys, you don't have to worry about it too much. Make sure to keep topping up your health as you can take quite a lot of damage here. There's fall damage, damage from the spikes, and obviously you're getting hit by the monkeys off prey if you're not praying. So just be very, very careful and follow the path all the way to the end. Once you get to the end, speak to Zooknock and go through all the options again. And then use the monkey dentures on him, then the mould, and finally the gold bar. We'll then be given an enchanted bar, and again you want to teleport to Varrock, but this time you want to top your prayer back up, so go to the southeast corner of Varrock and use the altar there to get your prayer back. From here we want to head back to the Grand Exchange and use the spirit tree in the northeast corner once more, go back to the Gnome Stronghold. Once here, head north again, and we're going to go through the exact same thing again, where we go up the ladder, and then to the southeast corner, and then back to Apatow. Again, just be careful when you're clicking on these people to click on the right person, because otherwise you can be sent to a random place in the Gnome Stronghold. Again, hug the south coast and head west, and we're going to go back the way we went before when we went to the gate. So once you get to the ladder, head northwest, protect from melee, and then only switch to protect from range when you start to see a lot of dots together up on the hill. Get yourself out of the cage again. Don't forget to protect from range, and then head east and protect from melee once you get past the archers. Follow the line round, and this time we want to go into the large building and head to the trapdoor on the east side. Now, if you get blocked and you can't go down the trapdoor, sometimes you can get past, sometimes you can't. But if you get blocked, you can also go up the ladder to the south. And then if you go to the east, you'll be able to climb down a ladder, which will bring you right by where you were before. This time you'll definitely be able to go down. Make sure to keep protect from melee on, and then you want to use your bar in the fire. Climb back up the rope from here, and then head out. If needed again, you can climb up the ladder. You also want to add the ball of wool to the amulet, then put that on. Then head down the ladder again and then west out of the building. From here, you want to head north, back the way you came, and then west. Check for melee. I died here when I was testing this because I've got low health, much lower than you, and the scorpion got me. So just be very careful. And then here, you want to go inside this building where there's a monkey child. You need to speak to the child here, but you can only speak to the child once the auntie leaves the area. You also need to pick 5 bananas as part of this to give to the child. Go through all the options, and if you don't have the 5 bananas, pick the 5 bananas off any of these trees here and then speak to the monkey child again. When you're going through the options, just say I'm a monkey's uncle, then go through the chat again. You should have just enough time to go through it all until he mentions about a new toy, and then select option 1. And then speak to the child again and select option 2 to see how many bananas the child wants. And then finally talk to the child again, give them the bananas, and then you can hide back around the corner until the auntie comes along and then leaves the area again. When it's safe to do so, speak to the child again. Now sometimes he's not ready, you have to wait a little while, but keep trying until he finally gives you his new toy. Once you have the toy, you can teleport to Varrock, and it's up to you if you want to recharge your prayer, or if you're quite comfortable, or if you've got some prayer potions you don't need to. You can go back to the Grand Exchange to the northeast corner, use the spirit tree, and head back to the Grand Tree. As usual, it's option 2 and then head north, go up the ladder and then to the southeast. And then select travel. Go through all the travel options until you're on Apatol once more. And then we're going to be hugging the south coast, and this time we're going to be going down the ladder again. We're going to do the exact same thing as before, follow the path all the way around. If you have full prayer, you can just leave it on. If you don't have full prayer, just flick it when there's only 1 or 2 monkeys about. Then when there's the horde of them, just make sure to leave it on. When you get to the end, give them the gree and the monkey bones, making sure not to bury them. Be very careful, right click on them and use them on them, and then go through all the chat options again until you finally get a gree. And there'll then be some more chat. Hold down space to go through all of that. And once you're done, home teleport. From here, you want to head south into the Lumbridge Swamp. Then southwest of the hut, equipping your Drayman staff so that you can enter it. Once you're inside Xanaris, head over to the Pharaoh Ring and you want to pick the code DJP. From here, head northwest to the zoo and you want to equip your gree and speak to one of the monkey minders to get put in the monkey cage. Make sure you're also wearing your amulet of monkey speak and speak to one of the monkeys and convince them to go in your backpack. Once you've done that, unequip your gree to turn into a person and speak to one of the monkey minders again to be let out. From here, you need to go back to Ape Atoll, but you can't teleport, otherwise you have to get monkey again. So head northwest from here up to the Tree Gnome Stronghold. Once here, head through the doors to the stronghold and head all the way north back to where the king is. And you know the drill, back up the ladder and then southeast to where you travel. This time when you get to Ape Atoll, equip your Gree and nothing can attack you. So this time you can run west and then up to the gate, and this time you'll be let through it and nothing will attack you. Once you go through the gates, head all the way over to the east side. Over here, speak to Garkor again and go through all the chat options. After you've done that, speak to the Elder Guard right next to you, and he's going to ask you to speak to Crook, who's all the way to the west. After you've headed west for a little bit, you should see a blue arrow on the hill. You can click on that and it'll naturally path all the way around for you. Once you're at the ladder, go up it and then head east and then down the other ladder. Then speak to Crook and go through the options again. After speaking to him, you'll be sent to our Wogie and you'll then go through another load of chat. After you finish that, talk to the Elder Guard to be let out. Then speak to Garkor again. You're now going to be given a 10th squad sigil, which allows you to teleport straight to the boss. Make sure you got your starter staff or your staff of air, water runes and mind runes, whichever you prefer, as well as a load of food, and you've got full prayer. You shouldn't need anything other than that, but if you want to bring a spare prayer potion, then feel free to do so. Once you're ready, click to wear the 10th squad sigil and you'll be teleported over to the boss, and make sure to protect from magic straight away. The boss will then spawn and you want to head out the south side of the arena just round the edge so the boss can't attack you, and allow all the little allies to help you. They'll take the demon's health down all the way to the bottom, but you can't allow it to completely run out or it regens its health. So you want to wait until it's just before it's about to die and then head to the very east side, tackling for magic on the way to kill the boss in the eastern gap. It takes a couple of minutes for its health to go down, so if you haven't done it before, just speed up this video a little bit to the part where I kill a boss and you'll see it's quite simple to do. Once the boss is dead, head back into the centre and speak to Garkor, go through the chat, and then once that's done, speak to Zooknock. After this chat ends, you're going to be teleported to Ape Atoll and you can be attacked. So either get ready to equip your Gree and run away from the things attacking you, or to use your Varrock teleport. Both work perfectly fine. Once you're in Varrock, head back to the northeast side of the Grand Exchange again to use the Spirit Tree and head back to the King. After you spoke to the King, go up the ladder and to the southeast and make sure to speak to Dero again, who's the one that actually gives you most of the XP for the Monkey Madness 1 quest. Now you can either pick to get most of the XP in attack and defense, or most of the XP in strength and hit points. It's up to you completely what you pick. It's slightly more efficient to pick attack and defense, but I know a lot of people really value strength, so it's completely down to yourself. And you will now be in bracket number 3, around combat level 77-78, and you'll have another hour of protection too. So go nuts, enjoy yourself, have a great tournament. Sorry you've had to put up with my dull tones to this video. It's very late and I'm trying to do a last video before I enjoy it myself. And I will be at this point, so good luck in the tournament, whatever you decide.